নমস্কার, আপনারা দেখছেন এই সময় ডিজিটাল। আপনাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছি আমি পৃথা। আর আমার সঙ্গে আজ রয়েছেন দোজ ক্রাইসি ঠাকুর গার্লস খ্যাত অনুজা চৌহান। First of all, hi. How are you? Tell me that first.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so Dil Bekarar, inspired by your book, Those Pricey Thakur Girls, about to release. The teaser looked great. Can you give us all the details, how the shooting happened, all behind the scenes tidbits and all?
I don't have any tidbits. I think it was quite a story that you could probably get from your director and the cast and the production house who really had to deal with that. I was in a good place where it just showed up one day in my inbox saying, "Hey, the show's ready. Here's the link. Watch it." So I didn't really, but I do know that it was, I mean, not just the pandemic. People were unwell. There were all kinds of issues.
So are you happy with the cast?
Yes, I'm happy with the show. I just saw the whole show on Sunday, and it's great. I loved it.
So, what's the big part? What's the unique part you like about this book of yours?
I think what's really good about the show is that the show has been very, very faithful and very respectful of the source material. Like very often people buy the rights to a work, like a book, and then pata nahi kya kar dete, they do strange things to it. But this adaptation is very true to the book, and that was the best part. As a writer, what more can you ask for? That somebody takes your world and they treat it well. The whole recreation of the 80s, the era, and everything that's going on socially, politically, economically, सारा जो debates air में है, everything that's going on, the world building is excellent. It was really nice. And the way the characters have been brought to life has also been, they're coming off the pages. It's really nice.
So it's not the first time. Zoya Factor also became a movie. Right now, Bollywood or the entertainment industry, that all overall basing scripts on books, non-fiction, whether it is or fiction. So, as an author, what do you feel? Why this trend is going on right now?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just happy it's going on. I think maybe what writers look for the fact that when they take a book and make it into a film, that because somebody has written a book, that means कि किसी ने अपना 1 year, 2 years, people have spent quality time working on that story. They've written it, they've detailed it, they've thought about it, it's percolated. There is a process. Quality time has been spent in creating these characters. So when you have the rights to that, then you bounce off that, and then you can only, it's, a lot of the thinking and the structure and the world building has already been done. So I think that's why they come looking for that.
Okay,
Also, I think for books usually, I mean, like if it's a good book, it's not like trying to catch into any trend, because the book is, sometimes what happens, I think with scripts, they say, "Aajkal ye bahut chal raha hai, let's make this, let's make this, let's make this," versus a book is timeless. It's been written 10 years ago. It's not trying to latch onto any trend or try to, be very me too in that sense. It's coming from its own space. It's well thought out. So I think that's what we go for.
So, is it good or bad? What do you feel? Obviously, it's good.
Yeah, as a writer, it's good. I mean, as a reader, as a viewer, it's good because I get to see different kind of contents. And as a writer, it's great because I get paid. So both ways good.
So, what do you like? OTT release or big screen release?
The good part of the OTT and what I'm really enjoying at the moment with Dil Bekarar is because I've got the link. I can keep, and it is rewatchable. I've seen some episodes a few times, and OTT gives me that. I don't have to again go stand in the line, buy the ticket, buy the popcorn, and watch it again. So OTT gives you reviewing pleasures, and I really like that. Even as a reader, I love to reread a book. I'll read a book again and again. And if say I'm on Hotstar, then I can just watch the show again and again if I feel like it. So I love that. Of course, if a movie is huge cinematography and the effects and the spent money in visual extravaganza, then of course you should see it on the big screen. But for content that is more about character and writing and creation of atmosphere, वो तो छोटा पे भी चल जाता है.
और मतलब लोग भी पसंद कर रहे हैं आजकल बहुत ज्यादा. वही.
हाँ, आजकल तो what are the options now, you know?
So, जो बता रही थी मैं कि those Pricey Thakur girls is a very unique story. So, what do you like the best of this story?
I think what they've done very nicely in the show is that they've retained the priciness of the girls. Because when you say pricey Thakur girls, you don't know what does it mean. Like, what's a pricey girl? Like, does it mean she's a snob? Does it mean that bahut neka hai uska? Like what is it? Why is she called a pricey girl? And I think that notion of somehow of not being a snob, but having a lot of self-respect, which all the sisters have. I mean, never mind, each girl is her own thing, but each girl has a certain core of integrity and self-respect, which for me was what the boys on the road are calling pricey. They say, who lives in 16 Haley Road? Oh, those pricey Thakur girls. Like there's a certain notion of them. And I think that the makers have really kept that very well.
So, which is your favorite character in this story?
My favorite character in Pricey, I mean, the person I feel closest to has always been Ishwari. I love Ishwari. In the show, I'm fond of everyone. I'm really fond of everyone. All the little characters, big characters, they've done it all so well. It's nice. It's good. Everyone's there, I mean, like the dogs who have made it to the show. There are really side characters who have made it to the show. There's Amrik Taylor is in the show. Gambhir store, Mr. Gambhir is in the store. Like little characters, sab hai. Nicely done. So it's very nice.
मतलब सब डिटेल्स जो हैं वो एकदम परफेक्ट है. ओके, सो आपने जब ये स्टोरी लिखा था तो व्हाट वाज योर थॉट प्रोसेस? मतलब क्या सोच के?
नहीं, जब मैंने ये लिखी थी तो ये कहानी है कि लाइक दिस गर्ल इन 1988 who reads the news on Desh Darpan, which is like a DD kind of a version. It's a state channel. And I started writing this book in 2010 because mere bacche, I had teenage children who were very, very privileged and entitled and who used to say things like, there's nothing to watch on TV. See, there's nothing to watch on TV. You should have been growing up. And I was there, what are you saying? I had nothing to watch on TV. So for me, writing it in 2010 was an attempt to show my kids how different the world was when I was young, and not just different as in the fact that we only had Halo shampoo and Chick shampoo and no other shampoo, and but also just to also maybe tell them that some debates are eternal, like this debate about freedom of press, state-sponsored propaganda versus free journalism, censorship. These are eternal debates. It's the same debates you're having today. The same debates are happening in Pricey Thakur Girls in 1988, right? So to somehow show that how these eternal cyclical events are, like these are eternal themes and eternal conflicts. And these are battles that need to be fought by every generation using the tools of that generation. So Debjani is fighting this battle in the 80s. My daughters may be fighting this battle today, but it's the same thing. So to create that sense of a bridge across the decades, those were my intentions, really. So also I was feeling nostalgic for that little old school romance, because like jo old school romance hota tha, it was a different vibe from nowadays. Nowadays, like the kids are so, everything has changed so much. And even since I wrote the book in 2010 and now we're sitting in 2021, even in that much time, the world has again changed so much, So the charm of the typewritten letter and the actual date and the holding of hands and all that kind of thing.
Throwing petals in the balcony, like that.
Why not?
Yeah. So right now, do you think people will like to see 80s content and all? Like they love the book.
I mean, it's up to people. I mean, I can't say. But usually, like I said, I don't usually do following of trends, like, I mean, today now, actually, if you look around, you see there's so much content about the 80s. 80s nostalgia has become a thing, When I wrote this book in 2010, there was no concept of 80s nostalgia. It was not something that people thought about. And in that much time, so much has moved and changed. So I'm saying that when I write something, I never think about trying to be on trend or trying to be like little, riding a particular mood of the nation kind of thing. So I liked it. My daughters liked it. We have a 25-year-old age gap between us, so I'm just hoping that people like it.
Yeah, definitely they will. Okay, I always wanted to ask you something. That is, when did you wanted to become a full-time author? What
Oh,
was
yeah. No, actually, what happened is that I've worked in advertising forever. That's been my day job. I worked in advertising full time for 17 years, and I reached a point where when when my 40th birthday was approaching, when I started panicking and saying my whole life will go like this, puri zindagi I'll be selling kurkure and Pepsi and Nokia ka cell phone and Nestle ki chocolate, and what am I doing with my life? So wo tha that bahut, I mean, I loved my job and I loved talking about colas and chocolates, but I wanted to talk about other things also. And so it was around that birthday that I thought, let me start trying to write something for my own self, my own pure art. Advertising is applied art. I wanted to write pure art. So I started writing that book. When I was 37, I think I started writing. So the Zoya Factor came out just before my 39th birthday, I can't remember, 37th birthday. And then the first two books did well. They did well financially. And after two books, so for 4 years, I did both things. I wrote full time and I worked full time and I brought up my kids full time. So it was a crazy period. But after I did that for 4 years, and then I felt that, okay, these books will do well and I can earn the same money without having this job. So at that point, I said, okay, now full-time writer, Giri. I will write full-time. I mean, I'll write books full-time. But for 4 years, it was very hard because I was doing both, Yeah.
So how was the pandemic time? The lockdown
It was
happened.
good, yeah. I mean, like, kitni buri cheezein hui. People had such a tough time, but we were quite blessed and protected in that sense. I live outside Bangalore. It's very beautiful here. It's a rural space. Khuli hawa. Anyone on the road. So it was lovely. My husband and I, we were feeling very happy. We thought, acha, ab hamara empty nest ho gaya. Our children have flown. One daughter was in London, one was in Bombay, son was in Delhi. Suddenly we were saying empty nester, me and me, romantic. Then dhar, everybody came back. They were all here. Even now they haven't gone back. They're still in my house. My daughters are earning full salary, spending nothing, living in my house. So I don't know how long it will go on. But it turned out to be a great bonding time for all of us, a creative time. I wrote a book and we all got that time together. So we were very lucky in that sense.
So we are about to read this another masterpiece of yours, right?
Yes, yeah, I hope so. I hope you like it. I hope it's a masterpiece.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for giving me such time. Thank you. Thanks.